This episode of Off The Script is brought to you by WrestleCrate. WrestleCrate is a monthly pro wrestling-based subscription service, and each month, subscribers will receive a new pro wrestling-themed mystery crate. To go and subscribe, please go and visit their website at www.wrestlecrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, and this is WWE Off The Script, part number 5 for your episode number 65 for your Payback weekend, man. This is going to be the final part before we head into Payback tonight, live on the WWE Network. And as you guys know, being that I cover WWE in every way, shape, or form, I will be back here tonight following the pay-per-view to do your Payback official 2015 review, so do not miss that later on this evening. If you guys missed Off The Script all weekend, every part that you might have missed will be linked down below. I'm going to get right into the news for you guys on this Sunday morning. Thank you for joining me. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. This is, without question, the number one source for all WWE content right here on YouTube.com. And if you're not following me on Twitter, at JD from NY 206, as well as all my social media outlets. We're going to start off with a big story, guys. TNA not doing well at all. And I know some of you guys tweet me and you guys message me and leave comments and Off The Script, down below. You guys saying that Dave Meltzer just doesn't like TNA wrestling, or he's got a grudge against TNA wrestling, Impact Wrestling. But according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter and F4WOnline.com, cable television network Destination America can cancel Impact Wrestling in September if they so choose to do so. In a recent response to a fan in the F4WOnline.com forums, Meltzer claims that Destination America has an out of their 2-year contract with TNA Wrestling in September of 2015. Lots of rumors have surrounded TNA's relationship with Destination America as of late. Due to their inconsistent and low viewership numbers for Impact Wrestling, it was recently reported that the cable network regrets signing the TV deal with TNA for Impact. The network is trying to bring the number of viewers up. However, in hopes of the product seeing more eyes during the week, Destination America is moving Impact Wrestling from Friday nights to Wednesday nights. TNA President Dixie Carter has even reportedly told talent not to even pay attention to viewership numbers, as she doesn't want the morale of the locker room to drop any more than it already has. TNA Wrestling has had a bad press as of late. On top of the issue with Destination America, employees of the company have complained about paychecks being extremely late. The company also canceled a live tour in China, which caused talent to get upset at the TNA offices, man. Not looking good for TNA right now. I don't know if any of this is true, man. I really want you guys, especially you guys who are fans of Impact Wrestling and TNA in general, please take what I'm telling you and reporting to you with a grain of salt. Nobody knows for sure. I just don't see why Destination America would be so happy to bring TNA aboard their cable television network if all these rumors are coming out now that they regret it and they want to cancel them, or there's a possibility that Destination America can cancel Impact Wrestling. I don't know what's going on internally. Dave Meltzer doesn't know what's going on internally, okay? But TNA right now, with all the rumors going around, never mind the morale in the locker room about viewership numbers, I don't think the morale in TNA right now is good, period. How can the morale be good in TNA if you have rumors of being canceled off Destination America, especially with the paychecks not getting there on time? You know, the viewership numbers on top of that. Dixie Carter saying, listen, just go out there and do what you got to do. Don't worry about the viewership numbers. She's trying to keep everyone at ease, but the human mind is a very fragile thing, man, especially if you're employed there and you have a job there and you rely on this for your income week in and week out to provide for your family. Of course, it's going to, bring the morale low. It's going to bother you. It's going to get to you. Nobody knows for sure what's going on with Impact Wrestling. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. If I hear anything regarding Impact Wrestling at all being canceled, I will definitely let you guys know here on Off the Script. But what is going to happen to TNA Wrestling, man? What is going to happen to Impact Wrestling? Is it going to be done completely? I think if it's really done this time, if Destination America cancels Impact Wrestling, TNA is done. TNA, as we know it, is done. And I know you don't want that. We as wrestling fans do not want that, man. The more wrestling that there is available to us in America, the fans, the better. We don't want the big, corporation, WWE. We don't want that being the only outlet for American wrestling. We don't want that. I know we don't want that. So I wish TNA the best here. I hope what I am reading and reporting to you is not true, but I will definitely let you guys know if I hear anything else, and if Dave Meltzer reports anything else regarding Impact Wrestling on Destination America. News on Chris Jericho, guys. Chris Jericho making a WWE return this summer. Not only with Tough Enough, but last week Chris Jericho revealed that he would be returning to the WWE this summer. He noted that he had signed on for 19 live events, including several overseas, and even left the door open for returning to television. Following the injury to NXT superstar Hideo Itami, Jericho will now have his hands full with another one of NXT's finest while he is wrestling in Japan. According to the Japanese version of WWE's main site, Jericho is now set to square off against Finn Balor while the company is in Japan for 2 dates in July. Jericho was previously set to face Itami for those 2 shows. The company is touting it as a dream matchup between stars of 2 different generations, and that indeed is what it is, man. What a fucking match that will be for those 2 nights for the fans overseas. It notes the 2 have experience wrestling in Japan and will be tangling up for the first time. Earlier Tuesday, Balor teased a new look of body paint. The art is expected to debut at either next week's NXT TakeOver Unstoppable special event or the upcoming live event in Philadelphia, which happened this week. Meanwhile, Jericho was recently announced as the host of the revived WWE Tough Enough. The show will debut on the USA Network in June, man. What a treat for the people overseas attending those shows, man. Chris Jericho versus Finn Balor, going to be off the charts amazing. Going to give Finn Balor an opportunity to mingle with one of the best of all time and get his feet wet with somebody on the WWE main roster before he makes his eventual jump to Monday Night Raw, man. Going to be good for the people overseas, and it's going to be good to have Chris Jericho back, not only in the WWE, but I do hope he makes his way back to television, period, and has some type of interesting and intriguing storyline for possibly SummerSlam, man. It's going to be interesting to see, but I'm glad Chris Jericho is back, being that he's a very, very busy man. News on Global Force Wrestling, guys. Possible Bill Goldberg being the face of GFW. Sanjay Dutt and Scott D'Amore have been contacting talent for Global Force Wrestling and the television tapings in Las Vegas, Nevada on July 24th, 2015. All right. The first wave of talent has been announced. The promotion does not have a television deal yet, but Jeff Jarrett continues to reassure talent an update is coming. There is a lot of Ring of Honor and TNA talent interested in jumping to GFW, but the problem is that GFW is being very vague with most of the talent about what kind of money they will be paying. They cannot do that. You got to let these people know up front what they are going to be making, man. A happy talent is a happy promotion, okay? Some talent are also afraid that if they leave TNA or Ring of Honor, that if GFW doesn't get TV, the whole thing might just get called off. However, that's based out of paranoia, okay? Everybody's paranoid. As GFW has enough funding right now to run all of the shows they're planning this year. Whether they get TV or not, Jarrett is planning on pushing through with these shows. Global Force Wrestling pitched the following talent roster to one of the minor league baseball teams they tried to get to buy a show for them. Some of these names were reported last week. Some were not. I read to you again. Chris Masters, Brodus Clay, Jim Cornette, Scott Hall, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Lance Archer, Cliff Compton, Carl Anderson, Young Bucks, Luke Hawks, Moose, Ojinaka, Jigsaw, Jimmy Rave, Chuck Taylor, Luke Gallows, The New Heavenly Bodies, PJ Black, Sanjay Dutt, Thea Trinidad, Trent Beretta, Chase Stevens, and Cassidy Riley. On top of that, major news. GFW is really, really trying to get Bill Goldberg, but right now they are far apart on money. Goldberg has been open about the fact that he wants to wrestle again, mainly for his son, but he was insulted by GFW's offer. GFW doesn't have the money for big name guys at the moment. They tried to get Jim Ross at least to do their pilot, but couldn't come to terms on money with Jim Ross either. Unbelievable, man. Jim Ross couldn't get aboard with GFW, and I hope GFW finally gets a television deal, man. I'm very interested to see what's going on with that. And finally, guys, just a quick fun fact here. If you guys remember Lord Tensai, I know, he was trash. Just after WrestleMania 28 in 2012, WWE debuted the most monstrous Lord Tensai character, the Japanese persona of pro wrestling journeyman Matt Bloom. Now he's in NXT, all right? He's the main trainer for NXT. Many were aware that by his presentation, WWE had big plans for the man formerly known as Albert, but in a new blog post by former WWE creative member Kevin Eck, it was revealed that WWE had substantially bigger plans for the once even believed for the man known as Jason Albert. Eck noted Tensai has been set for quite the main event push. The idea was to strap a rocket to him and have him main event SummerSlam against John Cena. In an effort to get Tensai over at that level, he was given pinfall victories over top babyfaces Cena and CM Punk on TV. According to X, Cena himself was very much down with the idea of working with a larger guy who could go in the ring, but Eck believes it was Tensai's presentation and that ultimately doomed him in the end. He also revealed there were several different ideas for his gimmick originally. Among the pitches for Bloom were for him to be a masked mauler, an ex-prisoner in an orange jumpsuit, and an American samurai. I was of the belief that the best option was to give him the cool-looking mask with the black ring attire that showed the tattoos of his upper body but covered his ample midsection. The more we hide his identity, I thought, the less chance the crowd would be chanting Albert at him. I also thought he needed a mouthpiece. My suggestion was to hire James Mitchell as his manager. The samurai character was my least favorite, of course. That's the one we went with, and instead of a manager, he was given a follower who never spoke English named Sakamoto. Ultimately, the character did not work out, and he became a comedy character before moving to commentator and eventually head trainer for NXT. That's a fun fact. Tensai was a complete fucking disaster. Lots of promise. They introduced him very, very good. It was epic. The promos were nice. Just didn't pan out on TV, man. That type of character is never going to get over on TV. Well, you can't really force that kind of character down someone's throat. I didn't really think Rusev was going to get off the way he did, but now Rusev is fine. He's one of the best heels in the company. Very, very impressive, and he's coming along quite nicely as a future piece of the WWE. But that's an exception, right? You don't find a lot of Rusevs out there, man. Tensai and Albert, yes, talented, but it was ultimately WWE creative that pretty much fucked him. If they got James Mitchell to come aboard, that would have been fantastic, man. That would have been great and would have added a lot of depth to the character. A mouthpiece goes a long way in getting a character over, man. That's why managers are such a vital part to character building in WWE, and I wish they kept on that road. And, you know, obviously you see it with Lana, and it works, man. It just works. So that's what pretty much doomed Matt Bloom and the Tensai character, WWE creative being ridiculous, man. But that is off the script for this weekend, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. WWE Payback will be tonight. I will be back here live on YouTube.com to give you guys a full review. If you missed any one of my off the scripts this weekend, man, links are down below. Please go and check them out and hit those thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. Helps out my channel, and I, like I said, certainly appreciate it. All the parts are linked down below. If you guys want more wrestling content, my friends are down below as well. WrestleCrate down below as well, guys. I'll see you later tonight for WWE Payback. Tweet with me. Follow me at JD from NY206. And if you're not subscribed here, man, what the fuck are you waiting for? #1 source for WWE content right here on YouTube.com. This is JD. I'll see you tonight. Payback. Until then, guys, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.